Life of the party. Here we go. Title of the message tonight is super simple, but listen. Why momentum is crucial for this generation. Why momentum is crucial for this generation. And this is beyond momentum. You could just say why the church is crucial for this generation. Because maybe you come to momentum on a Tuesday night, but you don't belong to a church on a Sunday morning. If it's not here, get involved somewhere. Go to a church on a Sunday morning. Start to serve. Get involved. Grow in your relationship with Jesus. It doesn't have to be here, but go somewhere. And if you don't know where to go, you can come here. Sunday mornings, a lot of people come to the 11 a.m. service. We all sit together. We all worship together, take notes together, do life together. Get involved. Why is momentum crucial for this generation? Let me just start off with a story. When I was in college, I quickly noticed that about 10% of college students would get up and go to church on Sunday morning. Woo! And I went to a Christian college. About 10%, I don't know, maybe could it range on a good Sunday, like an Easter Sunday? You get about 50% on a good Easter Sunday. I don't know, I never kept super track, but I got up in the morning and I showered and I got dressed and I ironed my shirt and I walked up and down my dorm room hallways and nobody else was showering. Nobody else was ironing the shirts. I was all alone. I even remember I had to purposely think to myself, I better be quiet, I'm going to wake the whole floor up. I'm the only one up. And I didn't get to go to church this crazy hour where only the roosters are up. No, I went to church at a normal time. And so I noticed, man, people aren't going to church. These people finally got away from mom and dad. They're not forced to go to youth group anymore. They're sent away to a college and they've made up their mind. I'm not going to church. That's sad. That kind of is sad to me. Wow, you're an adult now, you get to make your own decisions. First decision is not go to church. It really was sad. But here are some excuses when that alarm clock would go off on a Sunday morning when I was in college. These were excuses that ran through my head, and I know they run through your head too. I'm too busy to go today. Too busy. And this is what I found out. I thought I was busy in college. I was so wrong. I wasn't busy at all. I'm busy now. You're not busy in college. Wait until you're married. You got a house, a lawn, a career, maybe a job, kids, friends, hobbies, distant family members now that live across the United States. Hello, I just got back from Albuquerque because my family lives in Albuquerque. Traveling and more. You don't know what busy is in college. You're not busy. You think you're busy because you don't know anything else? You're not. You're in college, you're having fun. I had friends in college where they had their parents' credit card. They got to spend it on whatever they wanted. It's like, spoiled. Take me to dinner. It's like, I hate you and I love you. Right now, it's just mixed emotions. We're going to run with this relationship. Maybe it'll turn into something beautiful one day. Come on. And these are people who are stressed. Oh man, my dad only lets me spend $100 a month on this credit card. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm gonna hurt you. And these are people who are stressed about that. No, you're not busy in college. That's not a good excuse. And then I would go off and I'm like, oh man, I'm too tired. Another excuse. Too tired. And after waking up Sunday after Sunday and realizing I was too tired, I actually realized something. This is actually a legitimate excuse. But listen to what the Bible has to say about being tired. Proverbs 10 verse 4. They'll throw it right up there right now. See, lazy people are soon poor. Hard workers get rich. Who wants to get rich? Yes, absolutely. Who wants to be a thousandaire? Okay, who wants to be a millionaire? All right, who wants to get rich? Okay, don't be lazy. Oh, but it feels so real when that alarm clock goes off. I am too tired today. Come on, I had a 6 a.m. prayer meeting this morning. I had a 6 a.m. prayer meeting. I did not wake up whistling Dixie. You know, I wasn't like, I'm singing in the shower. I was like sleeping in the shower. Now, this is a legitimate excuse, but we must fight that. We must fight that. Another excuse that I would feel when the alarm clock would go off is, man, I already went to chapel twice this week. Wednesday and Friday. You know what I'm saying? But I realize chapel is not church. I don't have, no pastor is challenging me. There's no accountability in chapel besides attendance. You know, I'm not encouraged to get to it's not a discipleship process. It's not an evangelism process. This is chapel. Church and chapel are completely opposite in their function, their vision, and their mission. Chapel was not church, but it was something that would run through my head. Another thing is sometimes church is just boring, and I realized something. It's only boring if you're boring. It really is. Ever been to a boring party? But you were like, I'm tired of this boring thing, I'm just going to get up and do something. And that's all on you. That's all on you. You've been at home, you're like, I'm bored, nothing to do. That's all your fault right there. Just do something. You know, this is the same thing with church. Oh, it's boring. Only boring if you're boring. I realize that. Another excuse is nobody will miss me. Nobody will miss me. And I'd say this, I don't think that's true at all. Man, I'd rather see you than an empty seat. And I'll miss you. And another excuse is, what's one Sunday off? What's one Sunday off? But you know what? A lot can happen on a Sunday morning. A lot can happen at Momentum on a Tuesday night. A lot can happen at church on a Wednesday night. And I tell you what, we have got a real weird thing happening here, but as a staff, a lot happens in a week. And I left for Albuquerque for 4 days. While I was gone, Christian Allen left the country for 5 months. Amrita Jiva left the country for Cambodia for I don't know how long. I don't know. Debbie gets sick, gets rushed to the emergency room while I'm gone. And other things happen as well. Multiple services happen. A prayer meeting. I missed a prayer meeting. I was only gone for 4 days. And what's one Sunday? One Sunday could be everything. Man, you know what? In that Sunday, revival could break out. You could just be at home eating cereal. And that would be really weird. And Jesus could come back on a Sunday morning and you're like, just laying in bed, doing nothing. That would be a bit embarrassing. Judgment right there is already in your face. You immediately have to apologize. I'm so sorry. What's one Sunday off? One Sunday off could be a lot. Could be a lot. Man, you never know. I tell you what, you never know who you're going to encounter, who you're going to meet, who you're going to pray for, how God might use you on that Sunday, on that Tuesday, on that Wednesday. What's one Sunday off? It could be everything. It could be everything. So why Momentum is crucial for this generation, for my generation. And I'm going to read a peculiar chapter out of the Bible. You might think it doesn't have to do with anything that I'm talking about, but I believe it does. I'm going to read you about some of David's mighty men. And as I read this story, I want you to begin to read these people. I want you to begin to put yourself in their shoes and ask yourself questions like, how did they get this awesome? How did they get the title of mighty? Because I bet you they weren't too tired to get up and train. I bet you they didn't use the excuse, well, I've been working the farm all day, I can't practice the spear. It's a bit boring. The sensei won't miss me today if I miss one practice. Because these are guys who are mighty warriors who learned how to do a slingshot with both left and right hand just as accurate. And so these are men who were disciplined, who went and practiced a skill until they became great. Man, church is an incredible place to learn a skill. Look, Becca Herr tonight. When she first started coming around to church, you couldn't convince her to get on this stage and do what she did tonight. but through consistency and hard work and training and listening and praying and a year in the internship, she now can lead us in worship powerfully. Good job. Praise the Lord. And what if she used the excuses? She wouldn't be where she's at today. You see it now? So, let's read David's mightiest warriors. These are, it's in Isaiah, or 2 Samuel 23, 8 through 23, if you want to take notes. 2 Samuel 23, starting in verse 8. It says this: These are the names of David's mightiest warriors. The first was Joshabim the Himnite, who was a leader. He was the leader of the three mightiest warriors among David's men. He once used his spear to kill 800 enemy warriors in a single battle. Next in rank among the three was Eleazar, son of Dodai, a descendant of Ahoah. Once, Eleazar and David stood together against the Philistines when the entire Israel army fled. He killed Philistines until his hand was too tired to lift his sword, and the Lord gave him a great victory that day. The rest of the army did not return until it was time to collect the plunder. This is incredible. Next in rank was Shuma, son of Agi from Harar. One time, the Philistines gathered at Lehi and attacked the Israelites in a field full of lentils. Don't ask me what lentils are. I've seen them, I've witnessed people eat them, and I still can't quite define what that food is. But it's a field, it's kind of a bean or something, it's odd. But the Israelite, he's guarding a weird field of an odd vegetable, a weird odd bean of some sort. That still serves no purpose to this day, but he's guarding this thing. And like it continues in verse 11, the Israel army fled. Oh, he's alone again. But Shema held his ground in the middle of the field and beat back the Philistines. So the Lord brought about a great victory. Once during the harvest, when David was at the cave of Adullam, the Philistine army was camped in the valley of Rephaim. The three, who were among the 30, an elite group from David's fighting men, went down to meet him there. David was staying at the stronghold at the time, which is a kind of this big cave. He's hid in this cave because he's scared. And a Philistine detachment had occupied the town of Bethlehem. David remarked longingly to his men, "Oh, how I'd love some of that good water from the well by the gate in Bethlehem." But that's exactly where the Philistine army is. He says, "Oh, whew, I lost my place." There it is. No. Yeah. So the six things, thank you. Who was that? Shut up. Who was that? Oh, Harry. Speak up, Harry. Oh, thank you. And starting verse, so the three broke through the Philistine lines, drew some water from the well by the gate in Bethlehem, and brought it back to David. But he refused to drink it. He's a man. Instead, he poured it out as an offering to the Lord. A little bit frustrating for those three men. Really? Really, David? Gosh. And this is what David said. "The Lord forbid that I should drink this," he exclaimed. "This water is as precious as the blood of these men who risked their lives to bring it to me." So David did not drink it. These are examples of the exploits of the three. And then this one might be my favorite of all. Starting in verse 18. Abishai, son of Zeruiah, the brother of Joab, was the leader of the 30. He once used his spear to kill 300 enemy warriors in a single battle. It was by such feats that he became as famous as the three. Abishai was the most famous of the 30 and was their commander, though he was not one of the three. There was also Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, a valiant warrior from Kazeel. He did many heroic deeds, which included killing 2 champions of Moab. Another time on a snowy day, just like today, slippery, snowy day, he chased a lion down into a pit and killed it. Whoa! Once armed only with a club, he killed an imposing Egyptian warrior who was armed with a spear. Benaiah wrenched the spear from the Egyptian's hand and killed him with it. Deeds like these made Benaiah as famous as the 3 mightiest warriors. He was more honored than the other members of the 30, though he was not one of the 3, and David made him captain of his bodyguard. That could be you. Why not? Why couldn't you be a mighty warrior? No real reason, except you just don't want to, or you don't want to work for it. You don't want to, I don't know, maybe something's died in you. A dream might have died, or an idea you once had faded away gray. But then you embraced the silence. And you listened to the voice of the Holy Spirit, and He spoke the dream once again to your heart. I don't know. Got that. But I want to just teach you tonight why momentum is crucial for this generation. Number one, because it's here that you build relationships. You build relationships. And I believe there is a deep longing in the hearts of believers to be known and have meaningful, deep relationships with other believers who share similar interests and struggles. I want to convince you tonight this one thing. The struggles that you're going through are the exact same struggles that the person next to you is going through. But sometimes we don't believe it. We're like, man, nobody has those thoughts that I have. Nobody deals with this little sin that I'm dealing with. Nobody deals with hitting the snooze so many times that they don't want to get up and go to work or school or church. False. I want to tell you tonight, I've lived long enough to realize my struggles are the exact same as yours. And when I listed to you 6 excuses that I struggled with in college, I guarantee you connected with all 6 of those. It's because we are more alike than you realize. And there is a deep longing in all of us to share similar interests and struggles with other believers. We want to know we're not alone. We want to know if somebody else thinks the crazy thoughts we think. We want to know that somebody else is realizing this situation is weird or goofy, and can I just nudge the person next to me and point that out right now? Did you see that? And everybody wants this deep sense of belonging. And Momentum, the church, is a great place for that. And I want to tell you, as Momentum continues to grow in size, we must work to make sure that our relational roots are strengthening. There is a great church quote out there that says, as the church gets bigger, we actually must think smaller. Because as it grows, you begin to lose touch with people. You begin to not connect with as many people. You don't run into people like you used to anymore, even though you're in the same building. Sometimes we're like in a meeting at church and somebody will say, hey, I haven't seen so-and-so for a while. Where are they? And somebody else will speak up and say, they've been here every Sunday. Really? I haven't seen them. I thought they might have been missing or sick or vacationing for a month or 2 or something. What's going on? No, they're here. They've been working in the cafe. Really? Wow. I had no idea. And you must think smaller as you get bigger so that you stay connected. You stay connected. The idea of brothers and sisters must once again become realized as we join in the family of Christ. Friends should be made at the church, not the bar. Now I go to the bar not to drink, but to watch football games and stuff like that. I get a Coke, we sit down like we're something special, and we're like, 7-Up with a bunch of cherries, please. It's not a manly experience. You're like, wow, just lost my man card. But I do. I go and I sit down at the bar and I'm drinking Coke, and I'm able to connect with people beside me because we have a very similar interest in a team. And we can get angry together. We can get happy together. I hugged a stranger in a celebration of a touchdown. Whoa, really? That just happened. That was crazy. I'm loving it though. And But I want to tell you, I leave that bar and I've got no intention of texting that dude. And nobody would. Because that's like stalker and creeper and weirdo and an odd, needy kind of thing. Like, hey dude, had a great time with you tonight. Don't forget to set your alarm for work in the morning. No, it doesn't happen. It's because you're not building a relationship. This is not what it's for. But many people are longing for a relationship to the point where they try to search for them at the bar, at a sporting event, someplace, a coffee shop even, I don't know. But the church is where it should be. And I want to say friends make everything better. Belonging, and I want to say this, belonging comes before believing. And if you're here and you're on a search for Jesus, and you've yet to accept him into your heart, I want to say tonight that you're looking to belong first. And once you get that, you'll believe. And so reach out to people tonight. And make them feel like they belong, like they're a part of a family, like they have another brother or another sister. And they will quickly accept Jesus as their personal Lord and Savior for their life. Number 2. This is why momentum is crucial for this generation. This is the season when you begin to take responsibility for your faith. This is the season. And I want to say the church coddles you through your childhood, hoping and praying you grasp the faith for yourself, and one day, but I believe that now is the time to grab hold of your faith and become cemented in. Cemented in. Make your faith personal and meaningful for yourself. Make it personal and meaningful for yourself. And I love what Pastor Brady preached a number of weeks ago. He had a great message about being passionate. And he said that you have control of your passions. And you can become passionate about the church, even if you're not passionate right now about the church. And there's just some ways that you can do it. By spending your time here, by investing your money, and by building relationships. This place could be a great passion of yours. You could create it to be a passion. And now, you can, this is how I can prove that passion is created. You're not just born with this passion. You can cultivate and create it, and grow it, and nurture it, and focus it into something. It's like when the show Breaking Bad first started, it wasn't this big hit. It wasn't a success. It started, the first episode aired, numbers were good, viewers, it wasn't up there. But people began to talk about Breaking Bad. And as people began to talk about a show, it piqued interest. And without even knowing yet, you said, I'm going to give it a shot. And you flipped it on, and you invested some time. Maybe you went out and rented season 1 from Family Video, or some Netflix, and you invested money. And you got involved, and you became passionate on purpose about it. You can do that with the church. And this is the season when you should take responsibility for your faith. Come on. Number 3, now's the time to get your questions answered. And I love that word, 18 plus. And what does that mean? In essence, we can talk about things that our young kids can't talk about. You know, sex and marriage and drugs and alcohol. We can be honest and open about some of these things without cringing or giggling or, oh my gosh, did you just hear what the pastor just said? No, we can go there. We can go there now. And now's the time to get your questions answered. You don't have to be so embarrassed anymore. And I want to even just say this, not just questions of embarrassing questions, but crucial and critical questions. Like, you've lived long enough now where tragedy has hit your life maybe multiple times. And you doubt the goodness of God. And you doubt the love of God for you. And you say to yourself, if God is real, why did my parents die? If God is real, why is this happening to me? And you have big questions. And I want to encourage you with this. This is the place, and this is a system here to help you navigate crucial times. Here, to navigate. Just navigate through them. Not all questions can be answered. Some questions you'll just have to find out one day in heaven. You know? But we can help you navigate. And we can encourage and pray for you. Now, this is so important. Right now is the time. You can so easily just get lost in the world. Don't get lost. Get to church. Number 4. The habits you are forming today are the habits you'll have for the rest of your life. Believe me, I am the exact same person I was when I was 18 years old. I am the exact same person. How I dealt with money then is how I'm dealing with money now. How I treated my parents then is how I'm treating my parents right now. How I treated girls then is exactly how I'm treating my wife right now. I met Jen when I was 18. Now I'm 30. I'm the same person. She's the same person. She hasn't just changed. She hasn't all of a sudden become this different person that I don't even recognize anymore. No, we are the same person. Are you happy with the habits you formed right now? That's an interesting question. I mean, I'm not happy with all the habits I've formed in my life. I bite my nails. I watch too much TV. I'm way too obsessed with sports. I just ask my wife. You know, I get car sick on a plane. I don't know, these are things that I don't want. But listen, create a habit of church going. Create the habit of church going today. Because what will begin to happen is you create the habit today, then you will bring your kids to church. You're going to begin to have healthy relationships. You're going to begin to develop a servant's heart. You're going to begin to develop devotion to Jesus, a prayer life, a worshipful spirit. A worshipful spirit. Whew, this is good stuff. Number 5, church is where you find yourself. I love church. It's where you find yourself. Man, I don't know about you, but I never really knew who I was when I was in high school. Trying to fit in. Am I popular? Am I not popular? Do I go to the parties? Who am I? Do you like me? Do you not like me? Am I cool enough? I struggle. Does anybody else struggle with all those things? Do you accept me? Do you like me even for who I am? I feel like I'm not even real to anybody right now. Is this odd to anybody else? This is how I felt. But at church, I didn't need to act cool, which is very stressful to always put on this mask. I could take off my mask. I could be myself. I didn't have to walk on eggshells. I had no pressure to be popular. The only pressure I felt was to follow Jesus. That's good pressure. You know, don't just skate through life. Oh, I just want to take it easy. No pressure. I don't want too much pressure. No, there should be pressure on you to succeed, to get a job, to graduate, to marry a great person, to follow Jesus with everything you have, to develop a prayer life. There should be pressure on you for that. But not pressure to be cool or be popular or dress right or grow a good beard or shop at H&M or get your food from Target or VG's. There's pressure on you for that. I feel it from Rick. This kid, even if his car breaks down, he'll walk to VG's and just armfuls of groceries. He's like a VG's master. I feel pressure. You don't have to feel that kind of pressure at church. This is the place where you find out who you really are. And how odd and weird and different and insecure you are. It's exactly who you need to be, and it's exactly what we want you to be. And it's at that the point where you're absolutely real, and when somebody still accepts you, it's like the best. It's the best. And the last thing here, God loves to use young people. Why Momentum is crucial for this generation is God loves to use young people. And that's you, and that's me. We're young. I'm young. I believe youth really has no age. Young at heart. You can be young at heart well into adulthood. Young at heart. Man, God loves to use young people. Look at the disciples Jesus chose. Young men. Your age and younger. Young men. How awesome is that? And he only discipled them for 3 years. So when he resurrected and went off into heaven, they weren't elders yet. They were just 20-year-old men, 21-year-old dudes. That's crazy. You know who else was young? David was young. When he killed Goliath, he was a young man. And he was just a shepherd, an untrained warrior for the country. The country never trained him. He's just a young man who lived his life in the field with sheep. He just was used to killing bears and lions who tried to kill his flock. And he used that skill set to kill a giant. But he was a young man. Jonathan, David's best friend, was also a young man who led the Israelite army and killed and won many battles. Mary, the mother of Jesus, speculated to be just a 15-year-old girl. You're older than that. Man, you're right. You're right at the best age. The best age. Another young man who later joined the disciples, Bartholomew, went on many missionary journeys and learned what it took to be a powerful man of God. And I love Ecclesiastes 11 verse 9, and it's not going to be up there because I just added it. But it says this. It says, you who are young, be happy while you're young. Let your heart give you joy in the days of your youth. Follow the ways of your heart and whatever your eyes see. But know that for all these things God will bring you into judgment. You'll be judged on the good and the bad. Judgment's not a negative thing. It sounds negative, but you'll be judged for the good and the bad. You're young, go after life. You see something, you like it, go after it. And if it's good, even better, you'll be judged for that good decision. You'll be given that golden star, just like your first grade teacher gave you. You know, it is so good to be young, but let's use our youth to glorify God. Whew. I'm glad I'm young. I'm glad I feel good. I'm glad I can run and skip and jump and leap and dive and I don't get hurt. My dad can't do that. He cannot sprint across the stage, run inside his belly. We'd be taking him to the doctor's office the next day. Herniated disc in his back, broken clavicle, head injury. Nah, I can do it though. I'm young. I'm glad I'm young. Are you glad you're young? Let's take advantage of our youth. You got more energy today, right now, than you're ever going to have. This today is your best day. Until tomorrow, then that's your best day. And I believe the best is yet to come. But it's right now we can grab a hold of it. Right now. Woo, is this good for anybody else? Oh, let's stand to our feet. Let's stand to our feet. I'm glad you're here tonight. But I just want to give you the opportunity to give your life to Jesus Christ. Give your life to Jesus Christ. Maybe you're here tonight, you're searching, you're journeying, you're questioning, you're wondering, you're curious about God. Is He real? Does He know me? Does He love me? You're doubting, that's okay. You can still come to Jesus tonight, just as you are. Just as you are. And I wonder if there's any people here tonight who want to give their life to Jesus, first time or a recommitment. Maybe you've wandered away, walked away from your faith. It can happen. I know. But tonight you can come back. You can give your life to Jesus. So every head bowed, every eye closed. Tonight you want to give your life to Jesus, maybe for the first time, or maybe you want to recommit your life tonight. That is just the best. The best. And I want to just pray with you and help you give your life to Jesus tonight. And so if you're here tonight, you know you need to give your life to Jesus. On the count of 3, I want you to raise your hand, and we're going to pray for you, and we're going to get you on track. So 1, 2, 3. Raise your hand. Awesome. Raise your hand. Awesome. Awesome. I see 3 hands. Awesome. 4 hands. I see 4 hands. Awesome. Awesome. You can put your hands down. That's great. Every head bowed, every eye closed. This is what I want to do. If you raise your hand, I'm going to ask you to take a bold step, a brave, bold step. Don't let excuses hold you back. I know it can be tough, but I want you to come right down here and meet me on the floor and come right down here. Come on. Momentum, I want you to cheer for them, clap for them, encourage them. Grab your friend if you have to. There we go. Awesome. I know it's scary. Come here. Come here. Good job. Thanks for coming down. Thanks for being brave. Thanks for being brave, man. Seriously. This is awesome. We're just going to pray a prayer together. And we do this every single Tuesday night. You're not the first person to come down here. You won't be the last. So we're going to pray a prayer together. And it's called the prayer of salvation. You're getting saved from death. You're getting new life tonight. New life. So you repeat this prayer after me, and you pray it as if it's coming from your own heart and from your own mind, and it's your own words. Are you ready? All right, bow your heads, close your eyes. Everybody pray with us, encourage them. Say, "Dear Jesus, I give you my life, everything I am. I give you my life. Accept me for everything that I am, and forgive me of all my sins. Wash me clean, white as snow. Thank you, Jesus. I'm going to live for you. I'm going to turn my life around. All because of you, Jesus. In your name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. Momentum, give him a huge round of applause. This is great. All right. My friend here, right behind you, with the man bun, he wants to give you a Bible, a book, and he wants to just give you maybe more prayer if you need it. Just follow him. Don't follow him. You'll come right back in here, I promise. Follow here and grab your stuff. You don't have to. It'll be there. It'll be there. Praise the Lord. We got a good worship song planned. Of course we do. We've got a fantastic band. So let's worship God. Let's cultivate a worshipful spirit tonight. Create a habit in worship today that'll carry you through the rest of your life. Are you ready? All right, let's worship.